station of decapitation without your head.
Welcome to the station of decapitation without your head. I'm Nasty Neal.
I'm Treacherous Trista.
And we're joined by Frankie Monet, formerly known as Taya Valkyrie. It's very cool to have you here.
No, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
So July 2nd, your movie Unchained comes out.
Yes, July 2nd. It's available for everybody on Amazon Prime, and I am very excited to hear what everyone thinks about it. It's a very different role for me, and it's exciting for something to come out after waiting this long due to COVID for the film to come out. So we've waited. Let's go.
Yeah. So how did you get involved in Unchained?
I was approached by the director, Raffaello, about this part that he thought was perfect for me of Regina. And so I read the script and I really liked it. My home base is in Los Angeles, so I was able to do it with my crazy schedule. And the film was filmed in a very short, tight schedule, so we were able to make it work. And I really enjoyed it. It's very different from any character that anybody would have seen me play in my professional wrestling career, or anything really for that matter. And as a huge fan of horror film and being in some like an action suspense kind of genre, it was really fun for me. And so I'm just looking forward to this movie coming out.
Yeah. Now, did you know Raffaello before the movie?
I did not, but there was just some connections through my husband and a few friends of ours just within the film industry. You know how it is. It's very small when you think about it. And he had this movie and he just thought I was really great for Regina, and it really worked out.
Yeah. Trista, do you have a question?
Yeah, so you obviously have a very successful wrestling career. Are you planning on embarking also on an acting career?
I've always been involved in acting and the arts ever since I was a little kid, from, musical theater to ballet to gymnastics and all these kinds of, choir, all these things your parents put you in as a kid. So acting and the arts have just been a part of my life since I can remember. So it is fun to be able to do these other projects along with being in professional wrestling. And of course, I would love to have more opportunities to do this because it's just another outlet for me to express myself. And as an artist, as a sports entertainer, I'm also an artist. And this was just another opportunity for me to do that.
How does one help the other out? How does the acting side help the wrestling career and vice versa?
Well, professional wrestling is sports entertainment. So there's action and there's acting, and so they go hand in hand, to be honest. And we just kind of get used to playing a significant one character for long periods of time. Obviously, the character has ups and downs, and a story arc and can become bad and can become good and all this stuff. But you become very, used to playing one particular person. And so having these opportunities to do movies or television shows it's really cool because I get to experience being somebody completely different. And Regina is very different from who I play in the WWE on NXT and to Taya Valkyrie in my past. So it was cool to play someone who's just a badass like I usually am, but also just stripped down, kind of G.I. Jane, a powerful, badass woman.
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting character because, I don't want to give away anything in the movie, but, it's one of the villains, but it's more ambiguous than the other villains, if she's good, bad, and her morals.
Yeah, she has morals. She was very fun to play, and the director Raffaello has just entrusted us so much in coming up with how we think our character would be, and allowed us to be creative. And I would look at different films or different characters from the past and try to kind of think about how Regina would be, or how she would look, or how she would stand, or, how she would speak to other people. So it was a fun, creative process for sure.
Well, it's interesting because in my notes, I wrote, you have a lot of the character, or you have a lot of confidence on screen.
Well, that's good.
Well, I assume that's.
Well, I feel that's like why I say like professional wrestling and acting do go hand in hand. I mean, I'm used to being on live television, and a lot of things it's one take or else you get nothing, And so this was really cool because I did have, when you're in film and TV, you have so many more opportunities to try different things, saying a line a different way or standing a different way. And so I tried to explore a lot of those options creatively. And I'm glad that, the people are really enjoying it. And I can't wait for the rest of the world to. I personally have not seen the whole film.
Okay.
So it's kind of, it's nerve-wracking, but also exciting because I'm going to see it with the rest of the world. I'm going to have friends and family over to watch it, kind of do a little screener. And I just invite everybody to let me know on social media at Frankie Monet WWE what you guys think of the film.
Now, one of the characters that's not ambiguous, he's a straight up villain. And it's Larry Andrews, who plays the ward. And just what was he like to work with?
He was fun to work with because he was very just in character all the time and just kind of like very aggressive. And you could tell he really knew who, he really had who the warden was down. And so it was fun for me to play off of him and just to, play around with Regina and how she would react to someone like that.
Mm-hmm. And the lead, Mayor Mulroney, did you know her previously?
I did not. And she was awesome to work with as well. Such a sweet girl. And she did a great job. And there was lots of women in this movie. It was, woman led basically. And a lot of these women had never really been around in like fight situations. So it was really cool to see them go headfirst into, investing in the performance aspect of the fight scenes as well. Especially for me to watch that coming from the background that I have. So it was really cool to see.
Yeah. Did you help out at all in the fight scenes?
I was not involved, unfortunately, in the fight scenes. I wish I could have been the fight coordinator or something. Maybe that's in my future at some point. But just the schedule was very tight, so I didn't have a chance to really help out with that. But from everything that I saw, it all looks really good. So
yeah, they were shot very cool too. A lot of
awesome. That's great.
Trista, you have another question?
What are some of your favorite horror films?
Wow, I actually just recently got asked this question too. So when I was a kid, we used to go to the Blockbuster, I know I'm dating myself, and just go to the horror movie wall and pick out the most campy, ridiculous horror films based solely on the cover of the film.
I approve.
I just we would watch, all the critters, every leprechaun, Cannibal Campbell, like the most horrible, gruesomest stuff. So I've always been a fan of the over the top, bloody, blood and guts stuff over the more ghosts and spirits style of.
I'm glad you said that. Usually people say the opposite. They're like, I'm into horror, but maybe not the bloody stuff. I like.
Oh no, the blood. The more blood, the better.
I believe I have a critter on my hat somewhere. I'm not exactly sure what.
Yes. And actually, my love of horror films made me and my husband actually write and direct and star in a horror short that actually we are coming out with this summer, fall, hopefully for the horror movie film festivals called the Iron Sheik Massacre. So hopefully my love of blood and guts will translate in that as well.
Very exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing that. He's a former guest on the show as well.
Who was, sorry?
Your husband's a former guest on the show.
Oh, John. Awesome. Yeah. That's so great.
and oddly enough, so is the Iron Sheik. Is the Iron Sheik in the movie?
He does the voice of the Iron Sheik in it. Yes.
Oh, very good.
I would give too much away, but yeah.
Right. You can't give away too much of a short.
Yeah.
It's a short. But so you said you're going to do that at festivals. Do you have any previous things at festivals or any background with festivals?
I do not. John last year, for example, did Speed of Time, which did very well. It was an action sci-fi short that did very well in film festivals all over the country. But this will be my first time, and my first time that I'm a writer on a project like this, the first time that I produced it and had literally my hands in every aspect of this movie. And I'm excited for everybody to see it. And fingers crossed that it's finished by then, We all know how long these things take, and, being an independent film, it can take a little bit longer than these big budget productions, but I think it'll be worth the wait. Just like Unchained was worth the wait, filmed in 2019 and finally coming out July 2nd.
Yeah. So you filmed it before the pandemic, but it just affected the actual release of the movie.
Yeah, we filmed it in the fall of 2019, and I remember in January, getting an email, I believe it was, being like, "Oh, we're in March, April, probably do a premiere in LA, da 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 da," and then we all know what happened.
Right.
Coronavirus. So everything was, put on hold, but here we are, and it's still, you know, coming out and everyone's going to get to see it. And that's the most important thing. And it kind of, since it was this long, there has been this long period of time between, you know, filming it and now, it almost is more exciting for me because not, you know, I get to see it all and it's after waiting this long, just like everybody else. So,
yeah. Trista, you have another question?
Yeah, you seem so indestructible to me. So I'm curious, do you have any fears or phobias you feel comfortable sharing?
I hate birds.
Yeah, that's come up twice now on this question. Yeah.
I do not like birds. And I will tell you a little story. It goes back to when I was a kid and we parked under a tree and there were, I think it was like crows or something in this tree. And my mom, my sister and I, my little sister and I got out of the car and the crows started attacking my mom.
Oh, gee. I'm sorry to laugh, but yeah.
No, I mean, it's ridiculous now, but then it's not like little cute birds. It's just the big black, like, you know, birds that you see in the movie Birds, like the crows and the ravens and all that, you know, it's just, you know, as like it implanted in my brain since a 10-year-old that I don't like giant birds.
Well, I was going to say the movie The Birds must be a horror movie you're not into watching.
I actually think that I watched that before that experience ever happened. I watched a lot of, like, my mom was super into like making us watch classics and things like that. So we had watched The Birds probably when we were far too young.
I can relate, yeah.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah. I have Piper around here, so yeah, I have a Piper VHS here. So I have to ask, do you have any Roddy Piper stories working on World of Hurt?
Of course I do. It was so fun working with him on World of Hurt. My biggest takeaway from working with him was working on my promos. He's such a promo guy, and him explaining also what it meant to be a true heel. And I think I took that with me through all of my career and just really creating heat with the audience and, you know, being someone that people genuinely dislike and hate. That's part of it. And it's just having him speak on that so passionately, and now watching his documentary that had come out on A&E. It's just really cool to hear the whole story of his life. And I'm just glad that I got to spend those 4 weeks with him filming that show. Yeah.
So Unchained, it's going to be video on demand on Amazon, and you haven't seen it yet either. So you said you're going to get a group of people together. Is there any plans for the Unchained party?
Well, I don't know who, but we're going to get some people over here and we're going to watch Unchained on July 2nd, live from my living room, you know?
All right. Well, that's just as good as the big LA premiere.
Why not? You know, We're in a different world now. You just got to adapt.
Right. So people can find Unchained on Amazon. How can they follow you if they want to see what you're up to?
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, Frankie with a Y, Monet, WWE. Let me know what you think of the film. You can also catch me on NXT on USA Network every Tuesday night at 8/7 Central, and find me on Facebook as well, facebook.com/Taya Valkyrie and facebook.com/Franky Monet.
Very cool. Well, continued success in the movies and in NXT.
Thank you so much. It was great speaking with you guys.
You as well.
Thank you. Take care.
Me too. Bye.
Bye.